A very good afternoon, students. In the previous session, we have seen purification techniques, that is zeolite process and the reverse osmosis process. Today, I am going to explain the most important question, that is boiler troubles or boiler problems. So, I am not explaining all the questions, I am not covering all the questions in the revision. I am explaining most important questions which are very important to the external examination and the repeated questions. So, that is boiler troubles. So, first let us see what is boiler. But before going to see the boiler problems, it is containing boiler feed water. So, what is meant by the boiler? What is the boiler feed water? Boiler problems, that means boiler troubles. So, some of the boiler troubles are sludge and scale formation, priming, foaming, carryover, boiler corrosion and the caustic entanglement. So, in our syllabus, we are having only these four boiler troubles, that is sludge and scale formation, priming and the foaming. So, today in this session, I am going to explain boiler and what is the boiler feed water and the boiler troubles, scale and the sludge formation, priming and foaming. So, first let us see what is the use of boiler and what is meant by the boiler. So, generally boilers are using in the power generation industry for steam generation. So, whatever the steam is produced from the boiler, that steam is utilized to generate the electricity. So, that is the main purpose of boiler. A boiler is a device for generating steam which consists of two principal parts. So, here the boiler material is having the two parts. One is the furnace which provides heat. So, it is having the furnace. The furnace is using to giving the heat to provide the heat, usually by burning a fuel, and the boiler proper a device in which the heat changes water into steam. So that we know that when we boil the water, when we heat the water is converted to the steam. The steam or hot fluid is then recirculated out of the boiler for use in various processes in heating applications, including water heating, central heating, boiler-based power generation, cooking and the sanitation. So here whatever the steam is generating, that steam is using in the various purposes. So those are central heating, boiler-based power generation, cooking and the sanitation. So in all these cases we are using the steam. And proper treatment of boiler feed water is an important part of operating and maintaining a boiler system. As steam is produced, dissolved solids become concentrated and form deposits inside the boiler. So we know that when we are heating, when we are boiling the hard water, continuously what happens? Hard water is containing the salts, which is containing dissolved solids. So this dissolved solids concentration is increasing. So when the dissolved solid concentration is increasing, a precipitate is forming inside the boilers. So these are deposits inside the boilers. This leads to poor heat transfer and reduces the efficiency of the boilers. So when the precipitate is forming inside the boilers, what happens? It takes more heat for boil the water. It requires more amount of heat for boiling the water. So unnecessarily the heat is wasting and the efficiency of the boiler material also decreasing due to formation of deposits inside the boilers. So what is the main reason to form the deposits inside the boiler? The main purpose is due to the usage of hard water in the boiler. So boiler feed water is nothing but feed water is water that undergoes purification or preheating and is then supplied to boilers for hot water and steam production, or it can remain still. It is typically found in thermal power plants where it is stored and conditioned in tanks known as the boiler feed water. So simply boiler feed water is nothing but the water which we are taking in the boilers for steam generation. So what is meant by the boiler feed water? Boiler feed water is nothing but simply the water which we are taking in the boiler to generate the steam is called the boiler feed water. So it should have the following composition. The boiler feed water must be having this composition. Its hardness should be 0.2 ppm below. It is caustic alkalinity. Its caustic alkalinity due to OH minus. Its soda alkalinity should be 0.45 to 1 ppm. So if the boiler feed water is having this composition, there is no deposits formation inside the boiler. So when there is no precipitate formation inside the boilers, when there is no deposits inside the boiler, there are no boiler troubles. If the boiler feed water is having this composition. So these are the general boiler problems. Boiler problems are nothing but the boiler troubles due to the usage of hard water. Boiler corrosion, carry over, foaming, priming, scales and sludges, caustic entanglement. But in our syllabus, we are having these three boiler troubles: scales and sludges, priming and the foam. So let us see one by one. Scales and the sludge formation in the boilers. In a boiler, water is continuously evaporated to form steam. This increases the concentration of dissolved salts. Finally, a stage is reached when the ionic product of these salts exceeds their solubility product, and hence they are thrown out of as precipitate. So already we have seen now, when we are continuously boiling the water, it is reaches the saturation stage and the concentration of dissolved salts are increasing, and at one of the stage the entire dissolved solids are converted to the precipitates, and these precipitates are deposited at the bottom of the boiler material. If the precipitates formed are soft to loose and slimy, they are known as the sludges. So if the precipitate is very loose, that type of precipitate is known as the sludges. But while if the precipitate is hard and adhering on the inner walls, it is called the scale. So if the precipitate is very hard and which is strongly sticking to the boiler materials, that type of scale, that type of precipitate is known as the scales. So here the precipitate is two types. If the precipitate is very loose and slimy, that is called the sludges. But if the precipitate is very hard and which is strongly sticking to the inner walls of the boiler material, that is called the scales. So now let us see what is the sludge. Now we have seen what is meant by the sludge. Sludge is nothing but it is a loose precipitate inside the boiler. Sludges are formed by substances which have greater solubilities in hot than in cold water. So if the salts are having more solubility in hot, due to that type of salts, the sludges are formed. So some type of salts which are more soluble in hot water than the cold water. Those are magnesium carbonate, magnesium chloride, calcium chloride and magnesium sulfate. These are soluble only in the hot condition, but these are not soluble in the cold conditions. So when such type of salts are present in the boiler feed water, then the sludges are formed. They are formed at comparatively in the colder portions of the boilers and get collected at places where the flow rate is low. So we know that when the water is very hot, these are dissolved, but when the water is very cold, in that portions only the precipitate is forming. That precipitate is called the sludge. These can be easily removed. That means the sludges can be easily removed by using the scrap paper. So by using the scrap paper, by scrubbing with wire brush, we can remove the sludges inside the boilers. If sludges are formed along with scales, then farmer gets entrapped in the latter and both get deposited as the scales. So what we are doing, if sludges and scales both are forming at a time, the sludges can be converted to the scales, because sludge is a loose precipitate, so which converted to the hard precipitate by overheating them. So by converting into scale, we can remove the scale by using other techniques. But if we have only sludge, we can remove by using scrubbing, or by using the wire brushes, we can remove the sludges. So let us see what are the disadvantages of sludge formation. Sludges are poor conductors, so they tend to waste a portion of heat generated and thus decrease the efficiency of boilers. So sludge also one of the precipitate, but I said you now, when the precipitate is forming inside the boiler feed water takes the heat somewhat slowly because of the precipitator. So the heat will be transferred to the water very slowly because of the precipitator. So unnecessarily the fuel is wasting and unnecessarily the heat is wasting due to the formation of such type of precipitation. And also the efficiency of the boiler material is decreasing due to the formation of the precipitator. So excessive sludge formation disturbs the working of the boilers. It settles in the region of poor water circulation such as pipe connection, plug opening, glass connection, thereby causing even choking of the pipes. So here, due to the formation of excess sludge, this sludge is stuck inside of the pipes, the plug opening and the glass connection. And here, because of this, maybe the short circuit takes place due to the formation of the sludges. And even in the pipes also, even in the choking of the pipes also, this sludge will be struck. And how to prevent the sludge formation? Not only sludges, how to prevent the scale and the sludge formation? By using softened water. That means by using purified water, we can avoid the formation of scales and the sludges. By frequently blow down operation. Blow down operation is nothing but partial removal of concentrated water through a tap at the bottom of boiler. When extent of hardness in the boiler becomes alarmingly high. So when the hardness is more, we can remove all concentrated parts by using the blow down operation. That means by using the filtration process. By using the filtration process, we can remove all concentrated parts and we can get the pure water again. So by using blow down operation also, we can remove or we can avoid the scales and the sludges. So scales. So let us see what is meant by the scale. Already we know what is meant by the scale. The precipitate which is very hard inside the boilers. But let us see what are the causes, what are the disadvantages and how to prevent the scale formation. Scales are hard deposits firmly sticking to the inner surface of the boiler. They are difficult to remove even with the help of hammer and chisel and are the main source of boiler troubles. Yes, so even we can't remove the scales by using the hammer also, because these scales are very firmly sticking inside of the boilers. So we can't remove even by using the hammers. So scales may be formed inside the boilers due to decomposition of the calcium bicarbonate. So the main reason is due to decomposition of the calcium bicarbonate inside the boilers, these scales are formed. So this calcium bicarbonate is decomposing to calcium carbonate, water molecule and carbon dioxide. But this calcium carbonate is nothing but the scale. Yes. So what is the main reason? Due to the decomposition of the calcium bicarbonate. However, scale composed chiefly of calcium carbonate is soft and is the main cause of scale formation in low pressure boilers. Especially in the low pressure boilers, this calcium carbonate is forming, which is very hard. So but in high pressure boilers, calcium carbonate is soluble due to the formation of calcium hydroxide. So in high pressure boilers, what happens here? The calcium carbonate is immediately converts to the calcium hydroxide but this calcium hydroxide is soluble in the water. So there is no such type of deposits in high pressure boilers. But only in the low pressure boilers, this calcium carbonate is forming due to decomposition of the calcium bicarbonate. This is the main cause of the scale formation. And another reason is decomposition of calcium sulfate and hydrolysis of magnesium salts. So when calcium sulfate is decomposing in water, it is producing calcium sulfate is decomposing to calcium carbonate, and this calcium carbonate is in the form of scales. And even magnesium salts, these magnesium salts are decomposing to magnesium hydroxide, which is in the form of scale. So let us see what are the disadvantages of scale formation. One is the wastage of fuel, lowering of boiler safety, decreasing its efficiency, danger of explosion. So we have seen many times in the scale formation and the sludges formation, wastage of fuel. Due to formation of the precipitate, the fuel is wasting here because water takes more time for boiling. So wastage of fuel. Lowering the boiler safety. So boiler material safety is decreasing because the boiler material continuously reacting with the precipitate. So when the material is reacting continuously with such type of precipitate, maybe it leads to boiler corrosion, and the boiler material safety also decreases its efficiency. Efficiency also decreasing gradually due to the formation of precipitate. Danger of explosion. So at one of the point, due to the boiler corrosion is nothing but the boiler material is undergo corrosion. So at one of the point, maybe the cracks are forming inside of the boilers. So due to that, maybe explosion is causes due to the formation of scales. So these are the four disadvantages of the scale formation. So now let us see how to remove the scales formation, or how to remove the scales. Scales are removed by the mechanical methods or chemical methods. If the scales are loosely adhering, it can be removed with the help of scraper or by using the wire brush. If the scales are brittle, that is very hard, it can be removed by giving thermal shocks. So by giving the shock treatment, we can remove the scale formation if the scale is very brittle. If the scales are loosely adhering, they can also be removed by frequent blow down operation. So loose precipitate is nothing but the sludges only. So we have seen how to remove the sludges. Sludges can be removed by the blow down operation or the wire brushes. If the scales are adherent and hard, they can be removed by dissolving them by adding chemicals. Example, calcium carbonate scales can be dissolved by using 5 to 10% of hydrochloric acid. So by adding acids, we can remove the calcium carbonate. Whereas calcium sulfate scales can be removed by adding EDTA. So by adding ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid, we can remove the calcium sulfate. So the next one is the priming. So when steam is produced rapidly in the boilers, some droplets of water are carried along with the steam. This process of wet steam formation is called the priming. So even you can observe in the home when we boil the water in the container. So when you have taken the water, full of the water in the container, you can observe along with the steam some bubbles. Some water droplets are escaping along with the steam. That wet steam formation is called the priming. But the priming is caused due to the presence of considerable quantity of dissolved solids. Steam velocity is high enough to carry droplets of water into the steam pipe. So if steam velocities are very high, that means if you are overheating. Sudden boiling, that means if we are boiling suddenly. Or faulty design of the boiler, that means if the boiler design if the boiler equipment design is not proper, then you can observe the priming formation. So what are the four causes? If the water is very high, or if the water is having the dissolved solids, if the steam velocities are very high due to the sudden boiling and due to faulty design of the equipment. So priming can be avoided by controlled rapid change in the steam velocities, the proper design of the boilers, ensuring efficient softening and filtration of the boiler water, by blowing off sludge or scale from time to time. That means if we remove the sludges and the scales time to time, you no need to observe, you no need to see the priming, because the priming is caused due to the formation, due to the presence of the solids, dissolved solids. So if dissolved solids are removing, there is no formation of the priming inside the boilers. So these are the prevention techniques of the priming. And the last one is the foaming. Foaming is the formation of small but persistent foam or bubbles at the water surface in the boilers. So if foam is forming inside the boilers, that is called the foam, which do not break easily. Foaming is caused by the presence of an oil and alkalis in boiler feed water. So if boiler feed water is having any oil or if any having alkalis, then you can observe the foaming formation. Actually, oils and alkalis react to foam soaps, which greatly lowers the surface tension of water and thus increase the foaming tendency of the liquid. So what happens due to the presence of oils? It is lowering, it is decreasing the surface tension of the water. So when the surface tension is decreasing, which is increasing the foaming tendency of the liquid. So this is the main cause of the foaming. So what is the main cause? Due to the presence of alkali and the oils. So foaming can be avoided by the addition of anti-foaming agents, which act by counteracting the reduction in surface tension. So for example, addition of castor oils. So what happens by adding the anti-foaming agent? These are increasing the surface tension. So when the surface tension is increasing, there is no formation of the foaming inside the boilers. So which are neutralizing the surface tension reduction. Next, the removal of foaming agent from boiler water. Traces of oils are generally introduced in boiler feed water through the lubricating materials used for pumps, etc. So oils can be removed by the addition of aluminium compounds like sodium aluminate and aluminium sulfate, which are hydrolyzed to form aluminium hydroxide. So these are also called as the coagulants. These coagulants are forming the flux. Here flux are nothing but these are high density impurities or large sized impurities. So when we are adding the coagulants to the water which contains oil, these oil droplets are converting to the large sized impurities. These large sized impurities can be removed by the filtration process. So that is removal of foaming. So how we are removing the foaming? Foaming can be removing by adding the anti-foaming agents or by adding the coagulants. Yes. So with this, we have completed the boiler troubles. In the next class, I will explain some important topics in the corrosion. So after completing the corrosion, I will start the troubleshooting. Yes. So if you have any doubts now, please contact me, or if you can message even in the WhatsApp also, I'll give the answer to you. Yes. Thank you.